The information and discussions shared on The Love Show are from personal accounts and experiences. Listener discretion is advised. This episode contains explicit language and frank discussions of adult themes or sexual content that may not be suitable for all audiences. Any communications, considerations, or recommendations are not a substitute for medical, psychological, or licensed professional help in wellness or recovery. Please seek a qualified practitioner regarding specific needs or concerns. We thank you and hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome to The Love Show, an exploration of love, romance, relationships, and sacred sexuality. This is your invitation to dive deeper into your innermost self and strengthen the bonds of love and intimacy. Jennifer Rose is an international psychic medium, transformational guide, channel, writer, and healer. With the help of fellow trailblazers, Jennifer's mission is to combine timeless wisdom and modern spiritual awareness to transform and evolve humanity, all while encompassing healthy transformative love, epic beauty, and divine connection. Now here is your host, Jennifer Rose.
Hello, hello. Welcome to The Love Show. I'm Jennifer Rose, and we are on the Sacred Spiral Network. Happy Monday. I hope you're all getting a good start to your week, everybody, and thank you for joining us. Very excited for our show this evening, and very shortly I have Donna and Paul Bond coming on to join me and talk about their love story. I've known them for several years and had them both on Embracing Infinity on my Friday show. This is my first time having them together coming on as a couple, so very exciting for me as well. So again, I hope you're all doing well and had a beautiful weekend and are staying peaceful, calm, and balanced through all the energies that we are having here today. Actually, I should say not today, but currently. Anyways, we have an uplifting and love-filled hour coming up for you. And again, I'm really happy that you are all here today. I would love to say hello to everybody who's starting to tune in. It looks like Miss Evelyn is here joining us from Central California. Hello, Evelyn. Thanks for joining us. Hello to my friend Jeffrey. Thank you for joining us too. Good to see all my friends and family here. You are all so special to me and so supportive. So again, I'm so grateful. We had a great start last week with episode 1. This is our second one, Sacred Union and Sacred Contracts and Union. So very excited for that. Hello to Jennifer McCormick. Hello to Charlene Shaz. And hello to Kim Princess. Almost at your birthday, my darling. We're getting very close. So happy almost birthday, beautiful. Really happy for you as well, too. Thank you again for joining us, too. So how are we all doing, everybody? Are we ready to be part of the love vibe and to be uplifted and have a heartwarming experience here today? I think that would be like the perfect thing on the menu for everybody here too. So I am very excited and honored to welcome our guests, Donna and Paul Bond, to The Love Show. Let's bring them on. Hi, Donna and Paul. How are you?
Hi, Jennifer Rose.
Hi.
Great to be here. Thank you for having us.
I'm really excited to have you joining us. And this was, I've been excited for a while. So thank you for being part of this and sharing your story. So I'm really happy and grateful that you could share your time with us. How are things going over in Costa Rica right now? I think it's summertime. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's the dry season and the weather here is epic. It's beautiful. The scenery is incredible. Hello, everyone. Hi, Kim Princess,
Yes.
Charlene,
Me and my
Jennifer.
shadow and Bernadette. Yes. Hello, hello. I love the word epic. So that's a great word. And I kind of think, I think that kind of describes your story too. It's a beautiful one too. And I can't wait to get into that too, and everyone's saying hello to you. I'm going to go ahead and read your bios for everybody. So for anyone who's new, that's just getting to know you, they can get an idea of all the beautiful things that you both have to share. How's that sound?
Thanks.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. I'm going to put my glasses on so I'm not squinting. Um, Paul and Donna have always known that their union is not incidental to their work in the world, it is the foundation to it. Neither would have fully stepped into the fullness of their soul's purpose without the other. Together, they split their time between Southern California and their private luxury retreat property, Casa Bella Donna, in Costa Rica's Osa Peninsula, where Paul paints, Donna teaches, and facilitates deep transformation. Theirs is a love story still being written in paint and words and music and in the lives of every soul they touch. Paul Bond is an internationally acclaimed magic realism artist whose award-winning oil paintings inhabit the luminous space between dreaming and waking. This is my favorite kind of art, by the way. Born in Guadalajara, Mexico in 1964, he created what he lovingly calls fairy tales for adults, surreal, soul-stirring works held in private collections worldwide and on the sets of Fox, Warner Brothers, and NBC productions. He has exhibited at the Laguna Beach Art Museum, the San Diego Art Institute, and the Gateway Museum, and served as an official poster artist for the Laguna Beach Festival of Arts, where he exhibited for 13 consecutive years. Oh, that's amazing. His Sacred Contracts painting series, inspired by Carolyn Myss, foreshadowed the profound spiritual intersection that would come to define his life. Miss Donna Bond is a soul catalyst, spiritual psychology life coach, and founder of Consciousness Rising. She holds a master's degree in spiritual psychology from the University of Santa Monica and brings 28 years of hospitality leadership, culminating in executive roles at the Ritz-Carlton, to her transformational work. The author of Original Wisdom, Harness the Power of the Authentic You, and host of the Spiritual Ambition podcast here on the Sacred Spiral Network. Donna guides high-achieving women from performance to presence through blending the gene keys, spiritual psychology, and her higher human integration methodology, private coaching, and immersive retreats. You can find Donna on Facebook, Donna Bond Professional Coaching, and Paul on Facebook at Paul Bond Fine Art. On Instagram, Paul Bond Art, Donna Bond Coach, and they both are on their websites at donnabond.com and paulbondart.com, which we will be putting out there for all you as well, too. So again, I have known you all for a good 10 years now, too. And Donna and I, we first met when you were doing a little talk at a spa. And then we've just kind of stayed connected ever since then. And you've both been on Embracing Infinity. But again, this is my first time to have you two on as a couple. And I remember it started when Paul was on last time, and people started asking you, we did talk about the book a little bit at the end there, and people started asking Paul, like, well, give us some relationship advice. And here we are.
Yeah, we just figured that out like 2 minutes before we went live. Paul said, are we giving them a relationship advice? I said, God, I hope not.
No, I hope so. We have some good advice.
Wait, can we just recognize Evelyn, who said, Donna, you got me back to my meditation practice. Evelyn, woo! I'm
Excellent.
so happy about that.
Yes,
Awesome.
yes. We love that. We love our Evelyn.
I'm going to give her a shout out before we do.
Donna, Evelyn is amazing. I mean, she is. She's just the sweetest lady too. So, and she's always coming on and supporting all of us, as is all of our other guests here. So we're very blessed.
We are.
And let's start with how you two met. So I know I got to read the story, but I'm going to let you two kind of tell it. But it's pretty synchronistic. There was a lot of wows in there for me.
Oh, well, I guess I'll tell it, right? So it starts with somebody that I was dating before I met Paul, and he was a colonel in the Air Force. He was a military guy, and I've always been spirit girl. And I would say to him on a regular basis, you need to learn how to color outside the lines. And like, this was the thing all the time. I would say, color outside the lines, color outside the lines. And I think one day I left him like a 24 pack of Crayola magic markers on his dashboard with a little note, like reminding him to color outside the lines. And one day I woke up and I looked myself in the mirror and I was like, Donna, what are you doing? And I knew that I was in the wrong relationship, even though this guy was amazing. He was handsome. He was very accomplished, but he wasn't the one. And I broke up with him, and then not too far later.
Okay, I'm going to interject.
Okay.
Because while that was going on with Donna and the guy she was with, I was in a 5-year relationship with a woman who similarly was wonderful. Like she was really a beautiful person, but she wasn't the one. Like I knew, and we were engaged, and I kept like kind of putting it off. And I'm like, I really love this woman, but she's like, there was something inside that was telling me this is not the person that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. So we were both ended these relationships. They were perfectly good relationships. Like there was no, there was no drama. There was no betrayal or anything. It's just like we both came to the conclusion, like, I'm sorry, but this isn't, this isn't working.
Yeah.
So this was going on simultaneously for both of us.
Mm-hmm. So eventually I went on Match.com, and I was feeling very ostracized by my whole family because they couldn't really understand like why I broke it off with this other gentleman, because, he looked like all of it on the
Right.
surface.
Yeah.
So I was kind of depressed, and I was really unhealthy. Anyways, I would sit on Match.com and I would just hit the delete key. Like literally, like this was 18 years ago, everyone. So this was when Match had first come out, but I would just sit there and I'd hit delete, 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 delete. And what got my attention was I got an email from Paul, and he said, I'm so glad to see that someone loves Carolyn Mace, because I'm a big fan of hers, and did a series of paintings named after her book, Sacred Contracts. Well, that got my attention right there. Instead of hitting delete, I went to his profile. And this is really before I had come into my spiritual gifts or really became highly sensitive to different energies. But when I got on this Match profile, I could like feel something happening, something moving inside of me. I get to the very last line of his profile, and it says, I'm looking for a girl who knows how to color outside the lines. You know who you are. Jennifer, I felt like somebody was spying on me in my own home. You know what I mean? Like I was looking over my shoulder, like, wait a minute, what is happening right now? Like you can't even make this up. This is so specific. And it was so, what? It was just crazy. It was absolutely crazy. So I replied to his email. And what was even stranger, and I don't know, as I'm telling you the story, if these things unfolded in the exact order that I'm giving them to you, but eventually I discovered that this series of paintings that he did was named Sacred Contracts. While I had disclosed on my Match profile that Carolyn Mace was my favorite author, I didn't disclose that that was actually the book that I was reading at the time. And it was literally next to my bedstand. So this was another really unmistakable serendipity that was crazy. It was crazy.
It'd be such a cute movie. I'm just going to say, it would be such a cute movie. Oh my gosh.
It would make a cute movie.
It really would.
We started writing letters to each other. Oh, because what I forgot to mention is that Paul was living in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I was living in San Clemente, California at the time. So we started writing letters to each other. And the truth is, we really fell in love with each other through a very old-fashioned art of letter writing. And, that doesn't really, well, I don't know, maybe it kind of happens today because kids are like texting each other and people are texting each other. But we had the long form of writing letters back and forth to each other. And we asked each other the hard questions, questions that don't get asked if you're like out on a first date and you're having a glass of wine, or you're out to dinner somewhere with somebody that you don't know. but we were asking these really in-depth questions of each other. And so that really revealed a lot about our character, about our personalities and our lives and like our value systems.
Yeah, didn't we like send each other a value, like to list your value quiz thing?
Yeah. So we finally met 30 days after we met on Match.com. We met in person. And that was also quite synchronistic because Paul had already booked a flight to come to Southern California to meet his very first grandson, who had just been born by his oldest daughter, who was living in Southern California. So he had this trip planned, not knowing that we would be on our first date, which we met, and you can read more, all the gooey details in the book. Yeah. But, when we met face to face, it just felt like coming home. We both took off our sunglasses because we met on a beach in San Clemente, and we were like, I know you. I know you. And it was that, past life recognition.
Soul recognition. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So our first date lasted 7 days.
Oh. Yes, it did.
One other thing that I just really feel compelled to share on the show, because it's so important that we trust the universe, and it's so important that even when we think our life is not going the right way, that it actually is, and maybe we just can't see it. I wanted very badly to be on a company trip to Cancun, Mexico. And there was a sales contest at the company that I was working for, and I didn't get to go on this sales trip. And I was so angry about it because I had met my revenue targets, and I couldn't understand in our small corporation, like why I couldn't just go on this trip after making millions of dollars for the company. Well, it was during that trip that every single person in the company was in Cancun, Mexico, except for me and human resources, who had to stay back behind at the company headquarters in San Clemente. And that was the week that Paul and I met for our first date.
Can't make this stuff up.
You can't make it up.
Well, you're missing some of it.
All right, go for it. Well, okay, go for it.
No, you got the framework, but there's in that 30 days, it was I made you an old-fashioned playlist, right? The music.
He burned me a CD.
Burned the CD and sent it to her, and the songs on the CD have like unfolded over the 18 years we've been together, and
we still play them
all these different ways. Yeah.
So music is your love language. Music and writing is like your love language to each other.
Yeah. Words and music. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 30 days. Well, so one of the songs in the playlist was Eggplant, right? Wasn't it called Eggplant? Mm-hmm. Michael Frank's Eggplant. So when I met Donna at when we were meeting for the first time, she said she gave me directions to come to this beach, this kind of somewhat secluded beach in Southern California, to meet her there. And she had a blanket laid out, and she had wine and cheese, and she was like, had her back to me, but I could see someone. I'm like, oh, that's got to be her. And there was like she had an eggplant like sitting on the blanket. So,
so cute. They're catching me blushing because they know I'm a hopeless romantic. It actually is 80 degrees in Southern California right now. We're having a heat wave. It's actually very hot in this room, but I'm a hopeless romantic and I love love stories. So yes. So anyways, continue.
So we met, we spent a week together. I think I was house sitting. Wasn't I house sitting someone's house in San Diego? And I kind of
got neglected.
I kind of forgot to go back and feed the dog.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oops. Did the dog survive?
Yes,
survived.
everyone survived. The dog didn't even starve, but I was not as mindful as I should have been.
I was also about to turn 40, and I had thrown myself a 40th birthday party because nobody else was going to throw a birthday party for me because nobody else was in my life at the time. And the party was in California, and my sisters live in New England. One of them lives in Massachusetts and the other one lives in Connecticut. And they were coming to this 40th birthday party. And I had just met Paul like weeks before this. And I was reluctant to ask him to come to this 40th birthday party because I knew I would not give my sisters like the love and attention that they deserve to have from flying across the country, because I would be all Google-eyed with my new boyfriend. But then I was like, wait a minute. If this guy is really the one and I don't invite him to my 40th birthday party, like that's so lame. So I invited him, and then two of his sisters actually ended up coming to the 40th birthday party. A couple days after the birthday party was my actual birthday, which was now another.
So I think you were just about to say how long after we first met?
Yeah, 30 days.
So we met online. We corresponded for 30 days. We met in person, and then I came back for your birthday party. What, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, or something?
2 or 3 weeks later.
This is all in the course of less than 2 months that this all transpired.
So a couple days after the party was my actual 40th birthday, which is coming up March 31st in a couple weeks.
Aries girl.
And
there you go.
We wound up back on the same beach that we had met on, and underneath a blanket in the freezing cold, without a ring or without a plan, Paul proposed to me. He just blurted it out, like, marry me. And I said yes without any doubt, without any holdback, without any reservation inside of me. It was a 100% full body, all in yes. And then everybody in our life started freaking out. My boss was running background checks. My mother was like having a heart attack. People were like, you met this guy on the internet. Are you crazy? But I had never been so sure of anything in my life, ever in my life. And what did we always say? Like, when you know, you know.
You know.
You know.
When you know, you know.
It's such a
we did
beautiful
wait
story.
a year to get married. I'm like, why wait? I mean, time's a wasted, you know? Get to get it. We did wait a year to like let everyone calm the hell down, and we planned a really cool wedding in that time.
And so this was also synchronistic, and we don't often talk about this, but this is before Paul's art career really happened. And we ended up getting married on the grounds of the Festival of Arts at what was called Tivoli Terrace.
Oh, yes. Yes, I know Tivoli. Yes, I do. Beautiful.
It was so romantic.
Beautiful. So romantic. Oh my gosh.
Roses and the flowers and the greens. Oh my God, it was amazing.
Yes.
And when I saw that, it was like, oh, yes.
I know.
And then a year later, he became an exhibitor there.
Wow.
And that was our summer home for 13 years. Yeah.
Oh, so beautiful. So for anybody who's not familiar with Southern California, so the Festival of Arts is in the Laguna Beach area of Southern California in Orange County, and it's kind of like home to artists there. It's like everything art is in this particular city. And so because I'm a SoCal resident, I know exactly what she's talking about, but it's beautiful. And then the pageant of the Masters and the Festival of Arts is like every year, and you get to see the finest of artists, you know, out out in this big area too, and it's really beautiful. And then some of them, they like act out too, like they act out the art. It's just super cool what they do. So just to give people a little bit of a background. And what's beautiful too is that, like, Donna, you have a couple of things. Like you had already painted this like sacred contracts, which was connected to what you were reading, the book that you were reading. But then, Donna, you've also posed for Paul's paintings as well. And I know we've showed a few of those on Embracing Infinity in the past too. So y'all want to go back onto the Sacred Spiral Network on YouTube and see the replays, everybody. Yes, you do. And it's so cool because you two have supported each other along the way for the next 18 years of your marriage and your life together too, which is really beautiful.
I really recognized Paul's talent as an artist. And when we met, he was selling real estate and I was a corporate marketing executive in hospitality. And so today we have very different roles, and we both are so blessed to be able to make a meaningful contribution to the world with the work that we do. Paul had some paintings like stacked up in a hallway. And I was like, what's that? You know, like, you can do that and you're not doing that. And he really technically was one of my first coaching clients before I knew I was going to be a coach, because I just saw this potential in him and this possibility and this really incredible talent. And, you know, if you go to Paul's website at paulbondart.com, if you click on the names of the paintings, these little secret narratives get revealed. And Paul is equally talented as a writer who I think is channeling, honestly. Yes. I don't know if you like to say that, but I believe that he's channeling. It's often really interesting how what he's painting is somehow connected to whatever's going on in my life, whether he's consciously aware of it or not. Like when you painted McKenna, I remember doing like all sorts of inner child work. And this painting was about like growing up too fast and like letting go of our childhood. And like that's happening in the next room as I'm over here doing deep processing work and like inner child.
Yeah, so your energies were very merged and you're very like telepathically like intertwined as well too. And so you're affecting one another in the creative space. That's beautiful. Yeah, you don't see that every day. That's really beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
we have, go ahead, yes, please.
Oh, no, just to pick up on what Donna was saying, I think us within, you know, a year or two of us meeting, it's like we were the catalyst for each other, right? To move into more of like what we're really here.
Expand your gifts. Yeah. Expand your gifts and your purpose and all of that too. I love that. That's so beautiful. Like it's such a beautiful love story. And it's very mystical and cosmic too.
As I witnessed the effect that Paul's work had on other people, I was like, I want that. You know, I want to open hearts like that. And I want to help people feel uplifted and like make connection inside of themselves. And that was a big catalyst for me, like waking up into the work that I do today, because I was witnessing someone who had such a profound effect and a positive difference, making a positive difference in the world.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's so beautiful. Isn't that wonderful? Look at that. It truly is magical too. And I feel blessed to know the two of you, but then also just to be sharing like the space with the two of you at the same time is like really special. Evelyn is saying 2 peas in a pod. That's so cute. And hi to everybody who's joined us too. And Bernadette is complimenting your art. She wants another art show too, because she's an artist as well. And you're helping inspire her to share your gifts. And thanks, Brian is saying they make each other more. They make each other more.
We do.
I love that. Yeah. You make each other more. So you expand each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is, as we fast forward through the years of are we going on 19 years or 18?
18.
Yeah. We expanded each other more, and then as we expanded, like other aspects of our own real true personality started coming forward, and they didn't always match with each other, right? So we kind of came together and we sort of molded to fit each other. We were still true to ourselves. I don't think we sacrificed ourselves in any way, but then over the years, like new aspects of our personality started coming forward that didn't always, that pushed against the other person's space.
So it wasn't rainbows and unicorns all the time.
No,
and that would be
and
expected.
for me, that's like part of the beauty of being in this relationship with Donna and having this kind of a long-term commitment with someone is being able to go through that growth. And, and there's been some challenging times, right? Where it's like one or the other of us is like, if this keeps going like this isn't sustainable, whatever the traits, whatever the behavior that was happening that has allowed us to look at that and being able to express to each other. I'll speak for myself that, there have been times where Donna said to me, this really doesn't work. And if this doesn't shift, then what goes after that.
Things might happen.
And so it was challenging to me, but it was an invitation to grow, because without a doubt, those big things where that's come up were things that served me to shift, right?
Yeah.
They were, if that makes sense.
No, it totally makes sense, because we can trigger one another and we can mirror one another. But I think when you have a partner that's willing to challenge you to become the best version of yourself, like now we're in like queen and king energy, because that's what you're basically pushing each other to keep maturing and keep growing versus just staying the same all the time, which isn't sustainable. Like that just won't work over in the long term. So it was like these are gifts that you give to each other to say, hey, like, we can do better, you can do better, I can do better, and do the work so that you're growing together versus apart too. So it's that's actually pretty amazing.
Yeah, and it was, we also packed up our lives and moved to another country.
Yeah, you sure did.
Brought up all kinds of things, right? All kinds of insecurities, and so we've had to rely on each other even more, I think, in some ways, to like keep our centers, because it can be unsettling to go through the shift that we did.
Love to you, Jennifer McCormick.
Yeah.
And so,
I think it's remarkable that inside the context of this relationship, both of us have completely transformed, not just in the roles, like our work roles, but I have become a lot softer and more gentle. And there's a lot of things that contributed to that, but Paul has held space for that and for that change, and I think that's another really big notable, is that both of us were willing to allow each other to change. And that's not always easy, because it poses a threat to the other person. It poses a threat to the relationship, because like, when you enter into a relationship with somebody, you're like, oh, I'm signing up with you because I like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you got all that. Right. And then as it starts moving and changing and evolving, it's not always what you signed up for, you know? So I think I just want to acknowledge us for The amount of,
Leave me hanging.
the amount of transformation that we have both gone through,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. What's beautiful is that you're traditionally married, but you have a spiritual partnership, which is a different thing, or an expanded version of marriage, you could say too. So that's, I think, what most people are wanting or striving for or hoping for. But it doesn't come without doing the work. So, and you, both of you were willing to like put the effort in to, mature and expand within yourself, for yourself and for each other, and then go through all these changes of, moving. Hey, Michael's in. Hey, everybody. So well done. So good job. And did you get a knock on the wall? Did you just hear something?
There's a giant gecko,
There's-
like a big one, running
Of course
across
there
my
is.
wall. It's
Geckos.
just
Of
like
course
a,
there
a
is.
normal Costa Rica
We
thing.
share a house with geckos.
Of course.
He's pretty big though.
Just a day in the life of living in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Just a little-
Well, I think too,
That's pretty cute.
the other interesting dynamic is
Hi, Carrie Ann.
Donna just mentioned like becoming softer, because I
Mhm.
think we came into this relationship, Donna, with a lot of yin. Is it the yin or the yang?
The yang.
With a lot of just.
I had all
You were
the yang.
corporate.
had all
You
the
were very
yang.
corporate. Yeah,
You
you're very
had more-
corporate. You're the creative one.
more-
And
more
Yang.
male energy.
Mhm.
I was the softer one, and over time, like we've kind of as we become, I think, maybe more balanced within ourselves. Again, that's the dynamic. That it's like, okay, then I started like speaking up for like, okay, this is what I want now. Like whereas the first several years of our relationship, I'm like
12, 15,
whatever you want, babe.
whatever I wanted, whatever I said. He was
it's
like, all right.
all
And then
good.
one day he stopped saying, all right. And I was like, wait a minute, what's happening right now? I'm not getting my way. What's happening? And that was a big adjustment. And it wasn't just
yeah,
a couple things. It was a lot of things. And so there was a whole different power shift, power dynamic that got
Yeah.
reorganized.
I
But
gotta ask
to your
though.
point, like
Yeah.
this is what a spiritual partnership really looks
Looks
like,
like.
right? Because from the spiritual perspective, here we are in Earth School, and we're all here to grow and evolve. And we all want to be with our soulmate, but when we're with our soulmate, that means quite literally we are going to grow and evolve. So we bring that forward with and for each other.
Yeah. So I gotta ask, because as difficult as that was, Paul like stepping into his mojo, that had to kind of turn you on too and get you kind of excited. Is that okay if I ask you that?
He wants to get to it, to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, let's get to it.
I just can imagine, I know you're a fire girl, so I can imagine that might have lit the fire just a little bit in a certain way. And you were like, oh, well, I kind of like this. All right, wait a minute, you're changing this story on me, but.
Yes.
There's been some of that dynamic for sure.
Yeah. I like a little in charge.
As long as you
That's
still
funny.
get what you want.
Don't all of us women. A little in charge, we still get what we want.
I'll let you be in
I love
charge
that.
for getting me what I want.
You got to keep
Right, I
it
love
spicy.
that.
You got to keep it spicy. You got to keep it spicy. But I was just kind of like, that had to have been a little bit fun for you, as much as it was to kind of like adjust to the shift too. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful how you found your balance and you found your way through it all. And it's because I can just see the two of you and your energies flowing together very much in that kind of kundalini way, and it's just really beautiful. And so you're very harmonious, too. And then your creativity just pings back and forth on one another too. So you're still kind of reading each other's minds. I can tell that. too. And so it's really fabulous to see that with you too. And you've got all these like sparkly stars all around you. For some reason, I'm going a little psychic, but it's true. But that's what I see, you know. So I just love it. And I think we have a couple of screen shares. I know Vivian. You know me. I'm just romantic. So that's why we did the love show.
Vivian, I love that you're calling her out. It's good.
It is
And
really.
Jennifer, you do blush
It's really hot.
easily.
It is really hot in here. I have to say, this room is like really gorgeous. We're having a heat wave in Southern California, and I don't have the AC on. It's cost too much money. You know how much electricity costs in Southern California. It's just, it's highway robbery.
How more in Rica, but we have solar.
I'm sorry. Oh, good. Yeah, I wish I had that where I live. I wish I had solar. Okay, so anyways, we have a couple of screen shares of artwork, and we wanted to show people the book that you've written a chapter into about your love story. So let's get that up for you too. Vivian, you're so funny. Okay, so let's see.
Ooh, Vivian's asking
a hard question.
Quite a spicy question.
Oh, how did your sexual energy evolve? That is a yummy question, Vivian. Do you want to answer that one?
I'm thinking about if I want to, how I want to.
We can put a pause if you want.
I'm going to just give a plug for HRT.
Absolutely.
I'm going to just give a plug for HRT.
HRT.
And it's okay. Boys don't need to know.
No, I need to know.
Hormone replacement therapy.
Oh, okay. I hadn't heard that.
Estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, ladies, because they all dip, including for men too. Like men dip in testosterone too, and they don't know why they're unmotivated and tired and gaining weight and all of those things too. But it dips for women as well, and that's where like your sex drive is and your energy level is and your mojo is and everything too. But yeah, right. Those are the things that make you sleep well. And
crazy.
Yeah, because if your hormones are not right, then you get brain fog and you're not thinking straight and you're tired and you don't sleep well and all of that happens too. So it helps a lot.
Well, I was trying to go the holistic route for years, and those were probably the most difficult 3 years of our marriage.
Yeah,
and when we moved to Costa Rica, I was like, there's no way I'm living in the tropics with hot flashes. And so I actually had a really important and serendipitous intervention. I was facilitating a retreat in Sedona, Arizona, and one of the women who was attending my retreat was a nurse. And she saw how badly I was suffering. And she said, Donna, I want you to read this book called The Estrogen Question. And that book was, I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of the doctor, but you can just Google it or Amazon it and you can read it. It was the real facts of the study that was done that had discredited HRT. And it became very eye-opening to me to research this and investigate, the positive effects of this. And Jennifer, as soon as I read that book, it seemed like everywhere I was seeing this information over and over again in different areas. And so I just said, I'm doing it. And in 48 hours, my system came back into balance. And my whole family now is on board with this, all my sisters, and, so that has restored the sex life in a big way. Huge.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it is. It is huge. Well, you have to have sex. I mean, really, it's like it's just, you have to, that's part of your intimacy. That's just part of like being together and love and staying connected too. And so it's important that people know that they don't have to suffer. Right. And so like being on hormones can save your marriage. So that just is. Right. And so I'm really happy that you brought that up too. And, I had an experience not too long ago where I was feeling really off, and I went into a little boutique that I like, and I'm like, oh, I'll go buy myself a new dress to feel better. And I was telling the lady, and I'm like, she's like, yeah, I feel off today. And she goes, yeah, the energy's really weird. I think it's hormones. I'm a couple of days late on I didn't get my refill. The pharmacy was closed. And she goes, Oh, me too. I don't. And so then we knew like it was the same thing. That was like the same kind of synchronicity. We knew like why we were feeling funny. So just even a couple of days throws your balance off too. Yeah. Vivian is a psychiatrist. HRT, exercise, and a clean diet really helps. I do all of that. Yeah.
Me
I do
too.
all of
And
that
the
too
clean
to
diet.
stay balanced. Yeah.
I
All
could
of
go on a
that.
rant about that, but I won't.
Yeah.
But yes.
We don't have to age and suffer. We just don't. It doesn't have to be this way. And so when you're feeling that sigh inside of you, like it doesn't have to be this way. No, it doesn't. Like we owe it to ourselves to feel our best, but that improves our relationships all around of how we feel and then how we interact with everybody too. So I'm really happy that you brought that up because that's my jam too. So and there is also this kind of like kundalini energy too that kind of gets activated too when you have a spiritual transformation. So I'm assuming that the two balanced each other very well, so that like your energies get to blend and then you get to feel that kind of like rising inside of you and kind of like reach that spiritual space together. I mean, that's about as wow as it gets. And I think that's kind of like why we become human is to have those kinds of experiences, like the physical and the energetic. Oh yeah. People are like, why are we here? The world is terrible. Excuse me, like sex, love, orgasms, and like food. It's like,
Right.
Did you forget these things exist and how wonderful they are? So, okay, Paul, I think you're blushing now. It's your turn to blush. All right. So, Kelly, do we have the screen shares? Let's go back to, we were going to share some of the artwork that's connected to you as well, Donna. Too. Let me see if we got those going on. It might take a minute. Hang on, folks. In the meantime, there we go. We got it. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So this is the book that you wrote a chapter in, Donna, and it's called The One. And so everybody, you can go on Amazon and purchase this. And I think it's in print or on Kindle as well. Is that correct?
Yep. It's on both.
Okay. And I think we might have the link, but if not, I can always post it later. But I know for sure it's in the description of the event over on YouTube and on Facebook as well too. So you can pick up this book. And how long did it take you to write? And how did you get to be featured in it?
This is actually my publisher, Halo Publishing International, that published Original Wisdom, Harness the Power of the Authentic You. And so I was invited into this. And as soon as I got invited, it was like a yes, because we have had this exquisite story. And the story that I shared, I wrote 18 years ago. And so it was a matter of pulling it out and dusting it off and making it a little bit more vibrant and sharing it in this book. So if you go to Amazon and follow me there as an author, you can get to my author page and you can see this book, Original Wisdom, and another book, an anthology that I was in, or a shared group partnership that we did called The Queen Bee.
Ooh.
I can't get the subtitle in this moment. There it is. Oh, go Kelly.
Oh, Kelly's awesome. She takes care of us. Okay, so these are the 3 books. Okay, beautiful, that everybody can go on Amazon and pick up too. So I remember when you were launching Original Wisdom, and now we've got these next 2 ones coming up too. So I'm so happy for you. Like, what a beautiful accomplishment.
Thank you. I've got one more around the corner, actually.
Yes, you do. Of course you do. Yes, you do. Let's go for 5. That's a beautiful number. Okay.
All right.
And now let's go ahead and share the art pieces. Okay. Do we have those, Miss Kelly?
I am Cal.
Okay. Let's see if we have those pieces
Paul
too.
can talk about them.
Okay. Let's see. Do we have the art pieces, Miss Kelly? There we go. Okay. Okay. All right.
So this is a painting called Mostly Sunny. And this was probably within the first year, I think, after we met. And as Donna mentioned, I hadn't painted in years. And I was inspired to start working again. And Donna modeled probably, I don't know, 10 paintings or so that I've done. But this is the first one called Mostly Sunny. And this was like, I don't know, just symbolically how I saw this woman that I had just met, you know, who was like,
a little bit crabby.
well, you were crabby then. I hadn't encountered that. Yeah, you were still like mostly sunny. And you still are mostly sunny. But yeah, so it's just, and there's, I don't know how well you can see. It depends on how people are watching this, but
Beautiful.
there's a group of doves that are like counterbalancing her, and she's like, you know, balancing off this beam, and you know, just, I don't know, Donna has always lived this life of just, I don't know, this really beautiful, exquisite balance of all of the aspects of herself, of yourself. I'm talking about you in the third person. You're right next to me. But it's, yeah. So it was a really fun painting to do, and it felt like it was marking this experience of us coming together, and you know, how I see her and how I see you still. So
Thanks, babe. And you know, the other thing is the dove is the universal symbol for the Holy Spirit. And at this point in my life, I didn't know how present the Holy Spirit would become in my life.
Yeah.
And so this is also, I think, a beautiful nod to that. And thank you for your comment about balance, but it's like my relationship with the divine is how I maintain the balance in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. The pose is so beautiful too, because you just, you know, you look so elegant and divine too. And I'm like, the calf muscles, damn girl. So I'm sorry. You know, me, I'm in fitness, you know, it's like you're so beautiful. And yes.
And I just want to say one more thing about this painting. So when Paul originally painted this, he was not happy with her skin color. And so this painting kind of got put in a back room, and it didn't get shown to anyone. And then one day he decides he's going to strip the varnish off of it, which I don't recommend that at home, kids. Like, it's highly toxic and super dangerous. But he stripped the varnish and repainted the skin tone. And as soon as he did, all of a sudden people were coming out of the woodwork to buy this painting. And he got all kinds of offers on it. But I was like, wait a minute, this is my painting. Like, this is the very first painting that you ever did of me. And we're keeping the original. So we still have the original, which is here in our home in Costa Rica. And yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. And you know, when you talk about being mostly sunny too, and you've got that little umbrella, it's like every woman's got a little bit of moon in her too. You got to have your moonshine. You got to have your emotions. You know, it's something for the man to learn to hold space for. You know, that's a beautiful thing too. So I love it. It's so dreamy. It's dreamy and just beautiful. So I can just feel the love too, like just in the energy of it too. I can feel the love is there too. So that must have been. It's like it was a very spiritual experience for the two of you to create that together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know. I remember like doing the photo shoot for this, you know, at that little condo.
Yeah. So beautiful too. I think we have another one. Is that right? I think we have one more painting.
So this was, so going back to when we first met, the Sacred Contracts, this is the painting that I either had just finished or was working on. I think I just finished it when Donna and I met. That was based on Carolyn May's work about sacred contracts. And it was, you know, that book is about archetypes, and but it's also about, you know, how we come into these lives with sacred contracts to have meetings with other people and have experiences. And so it's hard to, I'm looking at it from a distance on the screen, but there's a scroll with that represents the contract. It's, it's hidden to us, but the two people that the contract is between, they know, or maybe they don't know. Maybe they, I think a lot of these contracts,
they find out along the way.
They find out, they get to read it along the way, right? They just know intuitively there's a contract. What it exactly says or requires of each other is the part that unfolds over time. So yeah, this was, and I did probably, I think 3 or 4 paintings kind of similar to this one.
Yeah, that's absolutely beautiful. And you have several others that Donna you've posed for as well, and too. So I know we've gotten to see some of those, but you guys can all go check those out on Paul's website as well too. So to see how beautiful it is, and I just love that. I love that you two are connected in that way. I think it's just very special.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you guys going to go from here? What's next?
Oh God. I think for me to answer that,
it could be just a big question mark, a big unknown.
Yeah.
That's
I think with what's happening in the world, the shifts, the cataclysmic shifts that are happening, we're just like
holding the light.
We're just staying centered here, and this is a really beautiful place to be doing it. We walk out our door, and in a minute we're at a river, like this pristine, beautiful river that we sit and meditate at. 10 minutes up the road, there's a big waterfall, and we walk up there regularly and just sit and be in this place of nature. And I think it's we're just kind of we're just hanging out. I don't know how to put it, but there was a point, I think, when we were in California and evolving our careers, it's like we were kind of building and doing and creating, and we're still doing that definitely in a big way. But I think for me anyway, a lot of where we're at in our relationship and in the world is also just like a lot of still time, a lot of, just appreciating the beauty that's right around us, to keep our nervous systems, my nervous system in check,
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you're sensitive like that too. And are we done with the pictures? I think we have. Do we have any more?
Yeah, just those two.
Okay, we can come back. Thank you.
Vivian asked a good question about 5 or 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a deep gratitude that we share for each other as individuals. Like, I really value who Paul is as a person, as a partner, as a man, as a friend, as a father, as a husband, like all these roles that he plays.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I want to hang out with him, like, I wanna hang out with him. And I'm so grateful that I get to.
Yeah.
I feel the same. I was going to say, because Vivian asked a question about like, where do we see ourselves?
Where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years?
Yeah, that I don't know that I have an answer to that. Although, as we were talking about, like, what's next?
Just a little bit more gray, Vivian. We're going to be right here.
Yeah, I've been kind of diving into grief work, like the ritual of the work of grief rituals, and being able to witness and have a space for people to express and release their grief, because I think there's a huge amount of collective grief in humanity, just individually in terms of our individual losses, but there's also things that are happening on a global scale in terms of losses that we're all experiencing together, not necessarily people who are passing from our lives. And so that's something that really interests me. Then I want to start maybe hosting some of these grief rituals for people in our community, because I just see how much it weighs our spirits down, you know, and people haven't had a space to release it. So that's a nice
I
thing
think,
for me. It's continuing the painting.
I think that's very needed and very supported, and appreciated too. And Donna, you're continuing with your writing and your coaching and your beautiful show that you have every other Tuesday on the Sacred Spiral Network too. It's doing really well. And I just thought of something as we kind of talked about sort of this being a difficult time is, and it's interesting because we titled the show Sacred Contracts and Union. And if we can look at, there's one thing I remind people with being a medium is that when we don't have the why and the answers to why bad things happen or tragic things happen the way we do. And I remind people that no matter how anybody passes, whether it's peacefully in their sleep or, you know, very tragically in an unspeakable way, it's all sacred. Like every passing is sacred because it's bringing them from one side of consciousness into another side of consciousness. And that's always held in the arms of love. And so if we can hold that same sacredness for the planet right now, because it's going through its own existential crisis right now, and we're all witnessing it and feeling it. If we can move into the space of sacredness, that's connective, that can bring us back into our bodies, into our hearts, and into a space where we're can keep hope alive and keep forward thinking alive too, and keep a space of moving into the unknown of we don't know what all of this is going to be moving us forward into. So I find that interesting that that word keeps showing up. The word sacred keeps showing up. So good job, spirit world. Well done with that too. I would love to ask you anything that you can, any advice or suggestions or whatever word or wisdom. How about wisdom? That's a good word that you would like to share with anybody who's in a relationship or wanting to be or have been in a while, of just what they can do to make it better or keep it strong. Anything. It could be small. It could be big. Like you were talking about value, and you value each other. Like that's a perfect one too. We're keeping the value for each other.
We read the
Eight Dates.
8 Dates.
So the Gottman Institute.
Yeah, there's a book called 8 Dates.
Yes.
That we did together. It's a process, and by learning more about each other, creating more intimacy, that was a very cool exercise. And it seemed like that there was a shift from that after that.
Yeah.
In terms of our connection. So I would recommend that book, 8 Dates.
And then 20 minutes of uninterrupted sharing, which we haven't done in a while.
We haven't done in a while. Yeah.
But I came up with this process called 20 minutes of uninterrupted sharing. And you're like, 20 minutes? Holy crap. But what happens, which is so beautiful and it's such a phenomenon, is you come together with your partner, you figure out who's going to share first. And, you know, everybody shows up with their list of grievances. Here's all my issues. Here's all the things. You have the floor for 20 minutes. And your partner's just holding space for you, right? It's not a conversation. They're just holding space. They're witnessing you. They're mirroring back, like energetically. There's like a inner responsibility that happens for our own bullshit. It's like, as you're sharing, you hear yourself and like your ridiculousness. You know what I mean? And as your partner is willing to like hear you and see you and be with you in your pain and your emotion, that right there is medicine. That is gold, and that is medicine. And if we could just do that for each other, because that's really what everybody wants at the end of the day. Like we all just want to be seen and heard and witnessed and like validated and recognized and know that we matter. And so this exercise that I designed out of like struggle that we were having is really powerful.
Mm.
I love that. I love that too. I'm familiar with the Gottman Institute. They've done a lot of research on relationships. So I think that was a really good find for you too. And I love the 20 minutes. So you don't get to interrupt. You don't get to sit there and wait to get your, get on the defensive too. But it's interesting because it sounds like within that 20 minutes, it's like all your parts get to be heard. And then because you've been heard, then you get to come back into like your more centered self, like your more adult self kind of thing. Like, okay, now I can be me now. Like I can do, and having somebody to be able like to hold the space, that's strength, because it can be hard not to react or get defensive and things like that. But there's a lot of strength in the listening and in the presence. Beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful.
If anybody wants the process, you can email me at donna@donnabond.com and I'll send you the process.
Okay. I love that. Thank you for sharing that with all of us too, because that feels, like you said, the best medicine. It feels very, very powerful to be able to just 20 minutes of sharing and listening too. That's beautiful too. I'm so grateful for this time. And is there any last minute words you'd love to give us before we say goodnight?
I always say goodnight. Donna always kisses me goodnight.
Aww. Aww. Don't forget to kiss goodnight.
Kiss
Don't
goodnight.
Don't forget to kiss goodnight.
No, I think I said what I wanted to, and thank you for inviting us. This was good for us. Good for me.
You're very welcome, and we're in gratitude too for the both of you for sharing, and then for individually being who you are and what you're sharing with the world. And you're both making the world a better place, and we need a lot of that right now. So it's like that. It does. People are saying we have hope now. Like this does give us hope. So it's very powerful stuff. So what a beautiful time. What a beautiful evening. Hi, Arnie. Good to see you. Everybody, thank you for coming on today, and a big thank you to Kelly Brickle, our producer, for taking good care of us. This Friday on Embracing Infinity, I have the Sparkle Queen of Scotland, Alice Trevorrow, coming to join me, so you don't want to miss that at 12 p.m. Pacific and 7 p.m. in the UK until the European time changes. We're wonky off an hour than usual. Next Monday, I have Leslie Rogers joining me. He's a powerful integration life coach joining me. I'm super excited to be having him come on as well next week. So you don't want to miss that as well. We'll be talking about all things love and more wisdom shared with that too. So again, thank you all for joining us. Thank you for your beautiful comments and for interacting. I love all of you very, very much. Big hugs to you, Donna and Paul. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. And everybody make sure to check out Donna's show if you haven't already. It's every Tuesday at 2:22 Pacific time. So you don't want to miss that too. And again, you can also reach her at donnabond.com and paulbondart.com to see all of his magic realism. It's very magical and fabulous. So okay, everybody, thank you. Have a good night. And if
Thank you, everyone.
If you guys don't mind staying after the credits so we can just chat for a minute, I'd appreciate it too. So thank you. All right, bye everybody.
Bye.